Hey everybody, you got a JL or JT Rubicon with a broken E-Locker? Well, we got a fix that may save you time and money if you can find the right parts. Hey everybody, it's Bubba with Exodus Jeeps, and we build badass Jeeps. We're here on a Sunday morning early doing a gear inspection for a customer of ours that we recently did a gear install on. He's got to be in Colorado tonight.
That's okay.
So we came in early to do this inspection for him, but it's not your normal re-gear, and that's why we're making a video on it, and we wanted to talk about it. So the customer has a 2019 JLU Rubicon. He had some trouble with some gears. They broke up, ultimately causing a lot of damage internally to the electronic locker. When we pulled the gears out, actually he had a broken axle shaft. We found that some of the pins in the locker were in fact broken. Gears were torn up, not just the ring gear, but also the spider gears internally in the locker were broke up. A lot of damage took place, and normally we would just get another locker and put in it. However, you can't do that.
You can't do that!
Jeep does not offer a replacement E-Locker yet, like we can get for the JKs. There is no E-Locker. You have to buy a complete axle assembly. The aftermarket hasn't caught up yet. It's really discouraging and kind of weird that there isn't a locker for this yet. ARB does advertise a locker for this, the RD246, which would be a 35 spline locker. The problem with the 35 spline is that there are no shafts for it. RCV will in fact make axle assemblies for the front axle, but the rear axle, you're on your own. There are no shafts. And when we asked and inquired,
yes, I know how long you've been holding, and I don't care.
As of right now, January 2020, they're 6 to 12 months out in development if we gave them measurements.
Oh no, I understand. I just don't care.
We would have to order a lot of shafts for them to build the shafts. It was a big process. I won't go into all that. Long story short, there are no lockers available. There is a RD245 32 spline locker. I believe that will work in the front axle, but it will not work in the rear. There's different carrier bearings in the rear versus the front. They're still too new for me to completely 100% understand all of it. So that's what I know right now. So what do? We had to get this guy on the road. He's going back to college. Semester starts again tomorrow morning, and we were scrambling all around last week to figure it out. As luck would have it, when we bought our Jeep Gladiator, we went with the Sport S Max tow package, which, as many of you know, if you haven't watched our videos or done a lot of research on, those come with basically the same housings as the JL and the JT Rubicons, minus the differential. The locker is different in them. Well, there is no locker. The Sport S Max tow package comes with an open diff, same gears, 14 gears, but no locking differential. Since we did the UD60 swap, the axles were still laying around. We went ahead and opened them up. We pulled the shafts out and the carrier a couple days ago and took some measurements of the housing itself, and everything checked out. In fact, they were 100% the same housing.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Only different that we could cosmetically that we could tell was they had not drilled and tapped for the wiring of the E-Locker. Other than that, with the exception of different brackets for the Gladiator, is essentially the same exact housing. I pulled the shafts out in the open diff and we geared it up. We had to use the axle shafts from the Gladiator as well, from the Sport S Max tow package axles, because the axle shafts are different because it is a different carrier. That's pretty much the gist of it. We were able to use that and get it back on the road. So for those of you out there that if you're wondering about upgrading the axles internally on these, we're not there yet. The aftermarket hasn't caught up. If you break your locker, you're pretty much, for lack of a better word, screwed, unless you have an option like we had, just happened to be laying around. We're going to pull them apart, salvage some parts from a different build to make it work. We just did the gear inspection on it. It looks great. The oil was super clean. He's ready to go. It wasn't, we really didn't want to make a video about the gear work itself, but basically you really need to be careful and take care of your diffs until the aftermarket catches up, which they haven't. So we're gonna put this back together, put some oil in it, and let him get back on the road so he can get to Colorado in time to start the new semester. If you have any questions or comments, please hit us up through email or in the comments below, and we'll try and answer as many of those as we can. Thanks.
Don't miss any of Bubba's adventures, tips, and builds. Click here to subscribe or click here for the next video.
Stay tuned.